All right. Welcome to another episode of One Door at a Time. I am your host, Jason Richardson. I'm the Vice President of the Home Service Companies here at Security National Life. This is episode number 11 for those of you who might be keeping score. But joined today by Mr. Nathan Laviolette. Nathan, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing just the same. So Nathan, we had to twist some arms and some legs and hold his little granddaughter hostage to get him onto the the podcast today to talk about his history in the home service business. So hopefully we'll make it worth your while listening. If you haven't done so on whatever platform you're listening to us on, whether it's YouTube or Spotify, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when other interviews go live, or hit the like button or any other applicable sign of appreciation. It is just that much appreciated. So, Nathan, why don't you get us started off by telling us how you got into the life insurance business?
Well, at the time that I was working at the phone company, they were diversifying and downsizing. And every day I went in, I didn't know whether I was going to have a job or not. Happened to talk to a family member, a future family member at that, about the insurance industry. Started in 83, January 31st, 1983. Um, Went to work as an agent for 3 years and been in management ever since, you know. But it's been a real enjoyable career. A lot of stories, a lot of history, a lot of friends along the way that
Any
kept
enemies
in
along the way?
enemies too. You're gonna, if you're management, you're not gonna make everybody happy all the time. I promise you that.
Well, we won't even talk about your nickname at the former company that you were with. I will say that he used to have a mustache of sorts, and so that y'all can kind of uh, delve into that and take from that what you will. But so you were a short time in as an agent and then got into management. So was it the money? Was it the power? What was it that drew you into management, or did you walk into the district office like many of us did and said, "Hey, you want to be a manager? I got an opening."
Well, at the time, we were opening a new office, and I was the rookie in the whole place, and they just picked me and moved forward from there. It did upset a lot of veteran agents, but over time, we cleaned house, rebuilt, and you know the record speaks for itself.
So you were at one company for a good long portion of your career, and then at the time of this recording, Nathan is fixing to celebrate his 10-year anniversary with us here at Security National. So I guess go ahead and say congratulations now, assuming you make it that far. No, just joking.
Next week,
But
give me at
no.
least 2 weeks.
So for those of you who are not familiar with Nathan and his story here at Security National, sometimes when we hire people to take existing areas, they have existing agents and the like. But that was not the case for Nathan when he started out with us in South Louisiana. I gave him, I think, four or five agents. One was dead already, and one he had to fire the next day or something like that, how the story goes. But and it's not far from the truth, I will say. So he built up South Louisiana and then took over part of the responsibilities when we purchased a company called Kilpatrick Life back in 2019. So, Nathan wasn't offered a huge salary. You left a company that you had essentially retired from, and not to say anybody can start at any time, at any point in their career and just say, "Hey, I want to pivot from where I was at." But, what was it that all those years ago now that was said at Cracker Barrel that would make you say, "Hey, I want to go ahead and just start my career all over again from ground floor up"?
Well, it was, actually at the time, AIG was. uh, entertaining me too and offering me a lot of money. But what I saw was a image of what I had just left. So when I went and met with you, you didn't offer me too much. we we were talking, but you did offer the ability for me to grow the way I wanted to. And you said you just grow and we'll make it happen. And one of the things that stands out in my mind is back when a couple of companies merged, our paths had crossed earlier,
Hmm.
and I had did some training, and that sticks in my mind. You said that you came to the office and you trained, and I just appreciated the fact that it was honest, and it fell right into my lap of what I've always wanted to do with my career. And when I came home and I talked to my wife about the two opportunities, and I told her that the latter, the meaning Security National, just didn't really offer a lot of money. And she said, "Well, you know what to do. Go ahead and do it." And that's the support I had, and it's been a love affair ever since. So I've enjoyed working here. I've enjoyed the camaraderie, the idea that you're heard and your input matters. That's strong. So and that's what I like about the company.
So, what Nathan mentioned as far as offering a lot, it was just that it was, an opportunity to exercise his potential because that goes back to the company's founding. George Quist, who founded the company, was an insurance agent as well, and felt like, hey, whatever you kill and drag home, you should eat from that. So, typically we don't offer large salaries, or fat cat salaries, so somebody can sit in an office and tell you what to do with your career, and they haven't done it successfully at any company that anyone can name. Just the opportunity. So for the person that wants to work hard and wants to build something at the end of their career, be able to look back and say, yeah, I did build that. It was tough. We didn't always do it right. And we'll be one of the first ones to say that though most of everybody that comes on these podcasts will say a lot of positive things about us, we don't always get it right. We are human and we do err. But what I hope that overall people will find that when we do err, we try to pivot and try to make things right. And that's all anybody can ask of anybody because nobody's perfect. Um,
No, uh,
so
but
we haven't been able to hire Jesus as the perfect agent. So
no, and over the years, my office has changed. I mean, at first it started out Cracker Barrel, then it was IHOP, and now
now you
it's
have the
coffee
coffee
shop.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a little bit different than what some people that might be listening to today. They are used to going into an office and they think, board calls and they think, chew out sessions in the back room. That's a little different than what we do here at Security National. Nathan alluded to it when he said that his office has changed because we don't have physical offices. Um, that's one of those things that's a lot different than people who come from a traditional home service background are used to. But what we believe is pouring whatever money, because you only have, I hate to quote somebody that me and Nathan both know, but you only have 100 pennies in every dollar. And, and so, if you only have 100 pennies in every dollar and everybody wants a little piece of that pie, you know, instead of spending that money on a building that these days a lot of people are not visiting, why not spend that money on an agent contract and offer the agent stronger renewals, stronger contest, and ways to support their family?
Right, right. It and that's always been here. I mean, the company's always been, great contests, great um, opportunities for people to grow. You can grow it with the company into management. We're looking for managers constantly, and it's just a great company. A good family company, good values too. You know.
Well, if you think about some of your experiences, of course, you were fortunate enough to kind of rise to the top as the company you were working for was growing. But some people have found themselves in a situation where, um, the other guy's got to die or get moved out in order for them to have an opportunity to grow in their career. Here at Security National, as Nathan alluded to earlier, we just let you grow your career and we grow with it, right? So as somebody is able
Right.
to show themselves and rise to the top, we make they make their own opportunities, and so we just kind of go along with that. We alluded to contest just a moment ago, and here at Security National, we also have quite a few contests. So many so that I have to get people to remind me of what contest is currently going on. So we're fixing to end our convention qualifications, and we will be taking a cruise to Norway. So we've been to Thailand, we've been to Monaco. Uh, it sounds bad to say that Hawaii was a downsized trip, but as it relates to Security National,
Yes.
it was.
That's such a sacrifice, you know.
I know, right? Woe is me. Woe is me. First world problems for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it we said something about people not coming to the district office anymore. And times have changed. I mean, Nathan, when you first started collecting your first weekly premium, we don't collect weekly premiums anymore. And we don't necessarily have to chase Miss Jones down to cash her check before she goes and cashes it at the bank. There are a lot of new opportunities via the electronic method of payment that we can take care advantage of now, not just EFT, but other electronic means of payment. And so, what's amazing, as much as things change, they stay a lot the same. I've never
Right.
had a customer say, "Why are you still coming to my house? Why,
No, they
quit
they
quit
they
coming to
don't.
my house."
Right. People, people buy relationships, people buy people, and the relationships you build over years, which I benefit from that greatly right now. That I have children that come to me for insurance that I've insured their grandmothers and mothers. So that kind of relationship you build over time is priceless. You can't put a price on that. You know.
Well, and I think it was Warren Buffett that said that the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. And so you can liken the uh, relationships that you've built to this point as interest on what you've invested into this career. Okay.
Correct.
If you had done a bad job, if you had not invested into those people's lives by being there for them when they needed it, you wouldn't have earned that kind of relationship today or that kind of interest today. To be able to have people, grandkids calling you up and say, "Hey, Mr. Nathan, you had my grandma insured. I want you to come write me some insurance." And I've only been in the insurance business for 25 years, but I've already, benefited from that myself. And, I guess this is a message to those who might be listening to this who are thinking about, throwing their hands up and maybe getting into selling credit card machines or something. Uh,
Don't ever do that.
or being a greeter at Walmart, but because it just feels like, hey, you've kind of hit a brick wall as it relates to your career, maybe your income. Just encourage you to if you continue to plant those seeds, that garden will grow. And so it's like people at the end of their careers are benefiting vastly from all the payments into their 401k that they made all those years ago, and your career is much the same way as it relates to Security National, because we pay renewals for the life of the policy as long as you're the
Right,
servicing agent. So it's not like what we refer to as an ordinary company where those renewals will cap off at, say, 5 or 10 years, and they're minuscule at best. So,
right. But what I'd like to stress to the people who are newer in this business is that you do so much for people doing this job. doing selling insurance. You service them and then you walk them to the grave, and you just don't realize the impact you have on people's
Mm.
lives. And over time, you start realizing that. And it's same with being in management with agents. You help them. I still to this day have people still call me boss. That they used to call me that way back. And people that have they've left. I didn't have to fire them or nothing like that. They just moved on with their career, but kept a real open relationship, and the respect was there. That kind of thing goes a long way, and I believe that's a measure of your career.
Well, if you go into any career, whether it's insurance business or something else, if you go into any career and at the end of your life or end of your working life, you look back and all you have to show for it are a bunch of paychecks, then you've had a miserable career.
Right. That
Um,
is.
we have obviously a lot of fun stories, and I'm going to ask Nathan in a moment for one of those funny stories. And of course, we're going to change the names to protect the guilty. But we've had a lot of fun stories. But then, to Nathan's point, we've also been able to help a lot of people not only with their insurance needs, but also with their career, and that's really as or more rewarding than what the financial. Um, Means are. So, Nathan, give us a funny story that pops up to the top of your head. Obviously, we want to keep it PG-13 here. Um,
Funny story. Okay. Um, I have so many, and the PG-13 is horrible. but I'll give you more serious, just a little bit. So, as an agent on the street, we collecting at a house right next door, and we see smoke bellowing out from a trailer. And my staff manager was actually with me at the time. And we walked over there, and if you know anything about trailers that catch on fire, they go up quick, you
mhm.
know. And we pulled the electricity, we pulled the gas, turned the gas off. And while the manager was doing that, I was pulling 5 kids and the grandmother out of the trailer. Well, it was a one-way street in and out. So by the time we did that, the fire trucks all showed up. We were blocked in. And, so we were just sitting in the truck, just kind of hanging out. People from all over the neighborhood were bringing us food, water. They just were so appreciative of what we did. And it just, those are the kind of things that happen in neighborhoods, when you're on the streets like we were.
Mhm.
You see things, you help people. Um, Funny stories. I mean, I was at a door one day and knocking, and turned around and looked, and this old gentleman, really up in age, was in his car. He hooked my bumper with his bumper and was dragging my truck down the street. I was running after my truck, trying to, hey, wait, stop, you know. But
Well,
I mean, countless things. I was with an agent one morning and saw a guy walking a chicken on a leash. I mean, we had to pull over and just kill ourselves laughing for almost 15 minutes because it was so funny. It's in the city, you see a lot of things. You see some things.
well, and
So,
if y'all haven't figured it out, I didn't allude to this earlier, but if you haven't figured it out, Nathan is from South Louisiana. And if you haven't detected it from his voice inflections, and so to say that he's seen a few things down in the areas that he worked at, you can kind of imagine. So,
yes, yeah.
well, and as we get ready to land this plane, Nathan, one of the things that I try to do at the end of all these is to have some kind of sales tip that people can kind of harken back to or maybe use if they're in the home service business. Hopefully, with this company, if you're with another company, don't use this. Fast forward through this point. No, I'm just joking. But what would be a good sales tip for somebody to be able to go out and use today?
Which most salespeople can't do is to listen. Listen to your client. They'll sell themselves. Listen to what they're asking you. Listen to what they need, and sell that need with the ability to pay, as corny as that may be, and forget about the commissions. because what's going to happen is over time, you when you land that one sale that you sold right, is going to generate many more sales.
Right.
And you just got to take listen to your customers. And I've had agents just lose a sale because they wanted to sell them what they wanted to sell and not what they were asking for. And you just got to do that, and then talk to everybody. Let everybody know what you do. They can't ask you which for insurance if they don't know that you're selling it. Just talk to everybody.
Right. Yeah. And with that, we'll wrap this up. Nathan, thank you for joining us today. And for those of you who might not be familiar with the home service business, um, as strange as it is to me, it still happens today where people go, well, what in the world is home service? But if you're not familiar with the home service business or would like to know more about maybe getting contracted as an agent, you can visit www.snl, that's S as in Sam, N as in Nathan, L as in Laviolette, homeservice.com, and you can go to the contact portion of that website. Also, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, if you're watching or listening to this on YouTube, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification, and then also the thumbs up. That would be much appreciated, and it doesn't cost you anything. Or if you're listening on Spotify, just subscribing to the podcast, as we're going to endeavor to put more of these out more often. And let us know in the comments what you think about these interviews, or maybe you know somebody who I need to interview. That's appreciated as well. You can reach out to me via LinkedIn. That was probably be the easiest way, or Jason R at securitynational.com. We'll do that as well. So again, Nathan, thank you for joining us today. Until next time, folks, happy selling.